Hey everybody, welcome to the Centaur Fragrance channel. Thank you so much for being here today. You've come to the right place, especially if you're new to my channel. Please like, comment, subscribe, hit that notification bell, and let's get started with the video. Let's not waste any time at all. So, today we're going to be talking about blind buying. What is blind buying? What are the opposite sides supporting it and against it? And let's just talk about the general sense of blind buying and my opinion at the very end. So, blind buying is simply buying something in general without testing it, without trying it before. In the fragrance community, we often use this term to talk about buying a fragrance without ever smelling it before, especially without ever testing it on skin, which is an important thing to remember as well, because fragrances change dramatically depending on your skin chemistry and all kinds of factors. If you just smelled it in the air or on a test strip, that might not be what you're getting once you take the fragrance home and apply it to your skin. But let's jump into the topic. Let's first talk about the support, why blind buying can be good. Let's then talk about why blind buying can be bad. And then let's, wrap it up. So the support for blind buying, their arguments are, of course, there's going to be arguments on both sides that I don't know about or I don't include, but they go like this. Blind buying helps you find fragrances faster. That argument certainly is true. Blind buying helps you to explore fragrances or get a fragrance faster. If you're a person who likes to take a risk on a new product, if you're like an early adapter, which is kind of a term in technology, I think that's a great thing for you. You could have a fragrance before anybody else. You could review it first. You could tell your friends about it first. So that's an exciting thing. And if you also really are into blind buying, you can simply buy lots of cheapies. Cheapies, sometimes, if you know where to look and which ones to get, they can you can get fantastic deals for your money. They're discontinued fragrances often, when they're first discontinued, are at a reduced price, really lower than what they should be, and you get a lot of bang for your money. One of the most famous ones I think the fragrance community knows about that happened most recently is Van Cleef & Arpels Midnight in Paris. At one point, you could get the EDT for about $20 or so, and the EDP for about 25 or so. For a while, people become a little bit more reasonable now, but for a while you could buy the EDT alone, you'd have to fork out $150 plus. The EDP, it was outrageous. $200 plus was not unheard of to get this designer fragrance that originally costed $80 or so, and at one time was a below $30 fragrance. So that is exciting to get a limited run. And then if you're into cheapies, you have a fragrance that's discontinued and can kind of have a special place in your collection because it's gaining value. It's limited. Not many people have it anymore, and some people might want to buy it off of you or trade it, and that's kind of prestigious if you're a collector. It kind of makes you feel good if you have a vintage bottle of La Nuit d'Alone. So those are some of the arguments for blind buying. It really does help you to find fragrances faster and try them out. And blind buying also applies to sampling, I think. So you can read about fragrances and new reviews, and read about those fragrances and get yourself samples. So let's talk about the argument against blind buying. So blind buying is extremely risky. You don't know what you're buying. You've never smelled it before. You might really dislike the fragrance. If you do dislike the fragrance, people who are against blind buying are going to argue that you simply are just losing and throwing away money, which if you tend to blind buy, you know all too well the risk factor and that you do lose money. This is an argument against it. If you don't like to take risks, if you don't like that, losing money here and there, and of course, you can kind of do risks according to your wallet or according to how much risk you want to take. It's a lot less riskier to blind buy a designer fragrance for $80 than it is to buy, a Creed fragrance for 400. So, guys and gals, those are some of the main arguments against blind buying. You're simply going to lose money, and at some point or another, and you don't have to have those fragrances, or you don't need them. So play it safe is essentially their argument. So what are my thoughts? How can we kind of mix these two ideas and come in the middle? My argument simply, or my suggestion is that you don't have to blind buy if you don't want to. I don't think anybody should be pressuring you to blind buy or not to blind buy. I think that should know that there's risks involved. Sometimes people blind buy a lot because of hype factor. Fragrances like Bentley Intense recently got an awful lot of hype, and I know that a lot of people bought that fragrance because of the hype. CH Men Privé perhaps is another. A lot of people just bought because of the popularity. So I think that you just have to know yourself. You have to know that. Are you willing to risk that money? Are you willing to lose $10 or $20, maybe $30? If you're getting into niche, it could be more than that. You could lose $50 on that fragrance, $60. So know what you're getting into. Know, kind of limit yourself. I love that some reviewers, especially recently, been talking about budgeting. Don't buy fragrances on credit cards. This hobby, just like any hobby, can get addictive, and it's fun to have new experiences, smell new things, have the newest and most exciting thing, or have a cheapie that's kind of exclusive that nobody else knows about. I think that both sides are definitely valid, and both sides can be fun. I have blind bought, but I tried to do it with the most amount of caution possible. I went to Fragrantica. I read, plenty of comments, even though I did, you have to take those with a grain of salt. I, looked over the notes. I looked over people's opinions. I watched other reviewers on YouTube, and there's so many great ones out there in the fragrance community. So I kind of did that, and I knew what I was getting into. So I felt more reassured. But for example, in the past, people have said you have to buy Mont Blanc in individual, or you don't have a collection, things like that. Don't feel pressured. Don't feel like you have to. And if somebody's pressuring you, not to do it as well, you don't have to listen to that. You don't have to fuel the drama either and create an argument between both sides. So I hope this video helped you. I hope now that everybody has a better grasp about what blind buying is, how perhaps we can, blind buy if we want to, in the best way possible. I especially encourage sampling. Even though you do lose a little bit of money, even there, you get to test a little bit of the sample, and some fragrance houses offer 10 mils and 30 mil, size bottles. The 10 mils are perfect for travel, and the 30 mils, if you're wanting to have a big collection, I'm personally not a collector, but if you are, the 30 mils might be all you need. You probably won't ever get through a 100 mil bottle. You might never need that 100 mil bottle, but if you're wanting to, then you could split it as well. So that's another option. Hope this video wasn't too long. Hope you all enjoy this video. Another fragrance chat here at the Scentadar Fragrance channel. I'll see y'all next time. Thank y'all so much for being here. Thank you for your support. Please like, comment, subscribe, all those great things. Hit that notification bell, and I'll see y'all next time at the Scentadar Fragrance channel. Bye.